Well, good morning, InSpirit. Good morning. It's wonderful to be here, to be a part of this great time that we have together. And what a wonderful song for this week that has seen so much tragedy. Amazing Grace. That's what I wanted to talk about today, and I had planned this talk some time ago, and I think it's really appropriate for this time. I hardly ever get up here to speak without thinking about that story about the little girl that is running to get to church on time, and she's dashing along there and praying, "Dear God, don't let me be late. Don't let me be late." And she doesn't see the curb, and she trips and falls down. But being a plucky little kid, she gets right up. And now she runs along and she says, "Dear God, don't let me be late, but don't push me either." Well, I think that's what we all need a little bit of, is a push. And that's what we do when we get up here, is try to give a little push to our own spiritual life, to our own deeper understanding of what these spiritual truths really mean for all of us. I want to just take a few moments to give you a couple of historical tidbits here, so that you can feel like you've gotten your money's worth here today. Amazing Grace is probably one of the best loved, most sung songs in the religious repertoire in the entire world. Every country has their own rendition of this. The song itself, as many of you may know, was the words were written by John Newton, and this song actually was published in 1772, shortly before the American Revolution. Interestingly, John Newton, early in his life, was a captain of a slave ship. He transported slaves from Africa to the British colonies in the New World. And at one point, he was engaged. They came upon an incredible storm, and he thought that was going to be it. He thought they were going to be going down. Well, they didn't, and he reformed from that and went into the Anglican clergy and spent the rest of his days as a clergyman and wrote many, many songs, many pieces. That isn't the end of that, though, because it took the British Empire another 40 years after that song came out before they actually passed the Emancipation Proclamation. That didn't happen until about 1833, and by that point, William Wilberforce and a bunch of other British gentlemen had forced Parliament to come to an understanding that they needed to free all those slaves who were beholden up to that point. It's amazing. They were 30 years before us. They beat us to it. Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound. Beautiful words. We talk about grace quite a bit. I'm not sure if we totally understand really what it means. I know when I was in the seminary years ago, we spent a whole semester studying the topic of grace and going through a lot of difficult scholarly opinions about what grace was, how it was defined, and so on and so forth. One thing I like about religious science is that Ernest Holmes has put a lot of these ideas very simply for us to understand. In the textbook, they define grace as the self-givingness of spirit to its creation. The self-givingness of spirit to its creation. We say that the first core concept in this teaching is God is all there is. God is all there is, which means that God is everything from the smallest, most infinitesimal thing to the largest, to the atom, to the galaxy. It's all God. And that includes all of us. That includes everything in your life, everything in your body, the blood that flows through you, the heart that beats in your chest, the thoughts that come to your mind, the ideas that come to you. All of this is God. All of this is grace forcing its way into your life in the most wonderful way. Grace is not something that we earn. It's not something that we need to beg for. It's not something that we need to look for or ask God about. It's given to us all the time. All the time. That's the beautiful thing about grace. That's why that song is so lovely. Grace, amazing grace. And that's why it is so amazing. Amazing grace. Because that grace flows through us. It flows through everything that we see. Every plant, every tree, every part of our life is full of this grace that flows through us at every moment. I want to take us on a little journey for a moment. So I want you to kind of indulge me here. I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment. I'd like you to think of a time in your life when you were faced with some kind of momentous decision, some issue, some problem. Could be anything from looking for a job, to a relationship, to issues with your children, to health, whatever. Feel what that felt like at that point in time to experience that feeling within you of wanting to know what that answer was, wanting to know what it was that you were going to be doing, how you're going to be getting along, how you're going to be taken care of. And then go forward a few days, a few weeks, and the answer comes. The answer comes to you. The problem is resolved. You see the answer. You feel it. You know that it's there for you at that moment in time. That is what grace is. That's what grace does. This can happen at any moment, at any time in your life. It can be a word spoken to you. It can be a sign that you see on the freeway. It can be something you read in a book. Whatever it is, it's God's working in you through grace, the givingness of God to its creation, the wonder of God's creation that is transformed in your life right now, right here in this moment. And that's the beauty of grace. That's what's so amazing about it. And that grace is given to all of us. That grace is like the dew that flows from heaven. It flows on the just and the unjust. It's God's gift. It's God's gift to us all the time. One of the best stories that I like to tell, which always encourages me and always I find very beautiful and a great example of this grace, is a story from the Old Testament. It's the story of Joseph. Some of you may know that story, but just listen to it for one more time. Joseph was the younger son of Jacob. He was the son of Jacob by Jacob's favorite wife, Rachel. And Jacob indulged this boy to no end. He treated him like a prince. He gave him all the benefits of all the good things in life. He even gave him this great garment that we call the Technicolor Dream Coat, or a coat of many colors, as they refer to it in the Bible. And this, of course, infuriated his other brothers. He had 10 other brothers that didn't like the fact that Joseph kind of lorded it over them. And that's why they decided eventually they had to get rid of this kid. This kid was too much. But rather than doing away with him, killing him, they decided to ship him off as a slave. And so they sold him off to a caravan that was going to Egypt. And Joseph had many other adventures in Egypt, which I don't have time to go through with you right now. But eventually he came to the attention of Pharaoh by interpreting some dreams that Pharaoh had about things that were going to be happening in Egypt, 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. And Pharaoh was so impressed that he made Joseph the overseer of this entire process of gathering all the grain, all the good things that they could hoard and wait for the years that would follow these years of plenty. And that's what Joseph was doing at that point in time. That was years and years after he'd gotten to Egypt. Well, this famine that was going on extended to other parts of the world. And it extended to Jacob and his family, which was still in Israel. And Jacob heard that Egypt had grain to sell. So he sent a couple of his sons there to see if he could get and buy some of the grain from the Egyptians. And so these boys came in, and they were brought in before Joseph. They didn't recognize Joseph, but Joseph recognized them. And of course, Joseph sold them the grain, and he told them that when they left that he wanted them to go back and to bring the rest of their family to see him there in Egypt. And so they did that. They brought the rest of the family back to Egypt, back to see Joseph. And this time, when they came, Joseph could not control himself any longer. He wept. And even the Egyptians, who were his compatriots, said, "Oh my gosh, see how he loves these people." And finally, Joseph revealed himself to his brothers. "I am Joseph, your brother." And the brothers were blown away. They couldn't believe it. This is the same boy that we sold years ago, that we thought was going to be dead. And here he is. He's taking care of us. What's going on? Why are you treating us so well? Why are you doing so many wonderful things for us? Why are you taking care of us so well when all we did was do bad things to you? And then Joseph utters these wonderful words, these great words that I think we can each take into our own heart. What you meant for evil, God meant for good. What you meant for evil, God meant for good. The good that God means is grace. The grace that is always there, that is always a part of us, that always flows through us, that always takes care of us, that always gives us the right answer if we but turn to it. Our problem is that we don't always listen, because God doesn't speak in a loud thunderclap, not usually. God speaks in the quiet recesses of our heart. That's why meditating is so important, to turn within to that deep, quiet place where we can feel the inspiration of that inspiring grace that is there all the time. And so that's what I invite us all to do this morning. To listen to that deep inner voice within us. To know that that is the voice of Spirit. That is the grace working within us. That is the amazing part of grace. So let's turn within right now. And let's just know in this moment that this grace, which we've talked about, flows in and through us, our families, our life, everything that we do all the time. It's always there. It's always a part of us. It's a part of everything that we are, everything that we do. It truly is amazing. That amazing grace is God's gift to us. Totally gratuitous. We don't earn it. We don't beg for it. It's just there. It's a part of us. It's a part of everything that we do. So we take this into our heart right now, knowing that this grace flows into our life. It touches everything that we do, every issue that's going on with us, every concern, and it heals all of those issues. All of those issues are resolved because it is God's gift to us right now. This truly is amazing grace. Thank you, God, for this moment. And so it is.